So we're very excited to have with us today Judith, we're going to have a bit of a chat about her life, her making, her career that has expand from 40 years of actual art making, and her extraordinary life. It's so exciting that the gallery is doing this mini sort of retrospective of you, because you have been painting since the 70s, really. Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit? It sort of was a second career for you that you fell into?
I always say I had 3 careers. I was a teacher, but not for long.
Yeah.
And then a mother, and then a painter.
Yeah. So you started out at rural Queensland at Oakey, around Oakey?
Yes, it was, because I had the children were all there.
Yeah.
And painting in their rumpus room wasn't good, because quite often there'd be tracks of going all over the place, toys on the floors.
So you used to paint in the room. Yeah. That's amazing. As we know, many female artists who have part of a family structure, they will often paint on their kitchen tables, because that's the only time that they can have that's quiet and space that they can use when they've got a growing family. But you were very committed, so you started doing classes and yeah. So what sort of things were you doing?
Whatever I was able to find, really, and so many different tutors. Not tutors as talking to me and telling me what to do, but I just would go into a class that I thought I might like.
So workshops or
yes, I did a lot of workshops,
and that was in Toowoomba. The thing that I find really fascinating is that you also went to Flying Arts and met Merv who was exceptionally well known through Flying Arts, and would go out to the regions and work with artists, and lots of women artists who were out in remote areas, and work with them to build their skills. And you did that for 2 years?
Yes, I did his class. I wasn't really happy, because nothing I did seemed to be what he wanted. Well, not exactly what he wanted me to do, but what he was saying. And let my head go a bit more. Yeah. And don't be so tight.
So, because we're so excited that we've been able to locate some of your really early works, and they are very, very traditional landscape, Australian landscape, house with gum trees, and there's the wool shed and Australian homestead, I think, and they're very traditional. And then suddenly, the late 70s, there's this complete break from that. Yes. And was that probably the influence of Merv and that pushing
Merv
you to get out of that?
And Irene Amos.
And Irene Amos. So
because she was just so interesting for me, because she would play. We had to paint to music. One day, or no, most of the time, it was 2 weeks. She would take us down a path in Bitterborough, and we'd mark out a little square on the ground. And the next day, we went back and did it again to see what animals had been scratching around
that area. And then did you draw? Was it like documenting?
I drew it, yes.
Yeah. So was it drawing first that loosened you up, or?
I think it might have been. I suppose I'd always been drawing, but not that sort of drawing.
Because your mother and father were quite influential in your understanding of art, yeah?
No, my mum was a bit of a character too. And she was all... I mean, you were lucky if you got home from school and she'd be doing something else, doing one of her crafts, and the breakfast things would still be there.
So you were very influenced. Oh, that's lovely to see that obviously influenced you as a child and that interest in art.
That's why I'm never tidy.
Look around you, so much work. The problem is you can't be tidy because you've got so much work. So you did training with Merv and with Irene Amos. If you don't know Irene Amos, go online and have a look at her work. Her work was extraordinary and really abstract
Yes.
in her way she placed her marks and the use of colour. She made colour sing like you do on canvas. And Irene was pretty much a forefront of that sort of aesthetic in Queensland, particularly for a female artist. She's passed now, but she was extraordinarily important in that sort of making. And so that was a big influence, and I think you can see that in even the stuff from the late 80s. You start to see that sort of changes, etc., and your work starts to loosen, and your horizon line. I often joke to Judith that her horizon line disappears slowly over time and rises, or this undulation line that flows through her paintings, and you can see it again and again. So you start to lose your horizon line because you loosen the idea of what you were looking at more so than what you were feeling. Would you say that's right?
Yes, that is quite right, because looking at a landscape, I was looking for composition too, and that became a very big part of my what I do now too. I find, because I'm loosening up, in those early days I was doing series of works, and of course we're in the outback a lot. My darling Rex took me. I can't say I really enjoyed it to start with. It was so darn calm, but he always makes these very exciting.
Yeah. Because that's another really big influence on you is Rex Backhaus-Smith, your partner and fellow artist. And it's interesting because we did a major survey of Rex's as well, but your works are very different from each other. Rex is very much about the space and what lays underneath it and storytelling of that. Yours is about the experience and possibly the emotion of the place.
You put that well.
Oh, thank you. So I think it's wonderful to see that there was this fabulous story about how I think you were out camping and you would always bring out a really nice tablecloth and so that even though you were in the middle of nowhere, you had tablecloths and beautiful dining experiences.
We had a couple of friends travelling with us, especially in the outback, because you really need other cars with your friends, and it was just really a different sort of an experience. And I would look around. I can remember particularly at Caloundra Gorge, which is we stayed out there for about 3 months.
Wow! Okay, didn't realise it was that long. Wow.
Did a lot of work. But what I was looking at as we were walking along was the ground and the sky, and I found that there was, say, purple berries and things on the ground, and so I thought, well, I'm going to make that purple the main colour of my painting.
Okay.
So I was able to put blossoms are really the main colour, because I put other stuff.
You never stay with one colour.
I can't.
So you, Rex and you, my understanding is once you and Rex got together, you would often do 1 year you would travel out back and go out into the regions, far west and up to the top end and the deserts, etc. And then in contrast totally, you would then flip, and the following year you would often travel overseas.
That's right.
And have that experience of seeing other cultures and art and art making.
We really were fortunate, because in those early 80s and 90s, paintings were really selling. So we'd make enough, have an exhibition after we got back, and make enough money. Oh, okay, where will we go? Because we went to all the great art galleries. We think it was all the great art galleries of the world.
Oh, that's amazing.
We just loved it. And all the ancient sites.
Yes, because you went to Rome and you went to Greece and Spain and Morocco and...
we went to Mexico. Cuba. And
that obviously also influenced your making and your thinking. When I look at your work, the thing that sings to me is your colour and your use of colour. You have no fear of having I think someone quoted, having a yellow sky or a purple
pink.
ground or a pink or a red. Is it an intuitive thing that you think, or colour just comes to you as you're painting? Or
well, yes and no, because I would think, oh, I've done quite a few paintings in those colours. I'm going to do something different.
Okay.
So I
So it's
was
a watercolour.
always trying different things.
Yeah.
And
because you work in different mediums as well,
Yeah.
so you've done some oils. They were mostly your early works, weren't
They
they?
were.
Yes.
I use acrylic as a watercolour.
Yeah.
And even though we've only got a very small studio, you can see what's happening. And I think with that, just it's thinking time. Because I go like mad. I've got these ideas. I have this really feel for it, and I love using acrylics. It's a watercolour.
So you do layers and layers and layers to build up your colour.
And it's quick. It dries quickly.
Yeah.
And I'd often have a big canvas on the floor, and I'd pour some water on, wait to see, oh, what's going to happen here? And that was to start with, because I a lot of the time I knew what was going to happen, but if there was too much water, was carrying too much paint, I'd have to get a sponge or something and blob up the bits I didn't want.
Yeah. So I think because Judith is quite a smaller person, and she does these really large canvases, and I'm always really interested in how loose they are. And I've seen a photo of you with a paintbrush that's like here, and you're standing way back. Because,
Rex made them for me.
That's
Probably
great. So you paint from your body, not from your wrist. Yeah. So, and that's how you get that looseness. So was there a particular favourite time? It sounds like all of it was pretty amazing, but was there a favourite period of time? Is it going out west that is sort of fed your soul best, or was it overseas?
I don't think it was. See, I was still in that stage. Well, I still am, where I'm trying to think of different ways of doing things.
When you're at a place, are you trying to document what you're seeing, or are you trying to document your experience of what you're seeing, of the culture that's sitting in you, whether it's out in the desert, that hot and heat and depth of time, or say in Greece where you're standing with monuments that have existed, way before us? And
I just, I suppose it was my background too from my dad, but I was always interested in ancient science, and thank goodness Rex is too.
Yes.
So that was the main
that's
thing, finding these gorgeous places. When we were, some areas I couldn't sketch or do anything because we were looking at art.
Yeah, when you're in the galleries and things. Yeah. But you would always have a sketchbook when you went out into the field.
Mostly.
Mostly. Or was it diary or writing?
Oh, I have written diaries all the way through, and I don't know whoever's going to read them, but they've been very, very good as far as it goes with doing the Greek story that we're doing.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Yeah, well, because every day you would have had another experience,
yes.
I'd imagine.
What do we do today?
Yeah.
So it was mainly that. With Spain was different in that I didn't do a lot because we were still looking at things and the wonderful gallery in Spain, and it just seemed as though even I'd write, and even in the car I'd write.
Oh wow! And it would be about your experience or how it made you feel.
Be. And some of it was just stuff about, I suppose, these great painters. How did they do that, I would think.
That's great. So that influenced how you thought about making. The other thing that I love about your the collection that we have is we have some of your lino carts and your printmaking. So you did some printmaking as well, and you've told me that you've done some fabric work. Yeah. You did some ceramics work. So everything. You tried your hand at pretty much everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was just something to try. Yeah. I think, and that was fairly important too.
But you liked the two-dimensional, that flat surface and bringing it alive.
I did it. I really got caught up in with clay work.
Oh, I love clay work.
One
of my favourite mediums.
Yeah. And so I did that for a while, just as a break. And but even the clay work is a lot of it is the female figure, because the curves I could make.
Yeah.
That wasn't easy. We had an extremely good teacher, and it was all hollow work.
Yeah. And so it wouldn't blow up in the kiln.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were people in my class doing that, and they'd really think, they'd look and say, "What are you making?"
Yeah.
And the jewellery class was amazing, because it was out at Winton when Rex was teaching out there.
Yeah.
And I think most of them were country people, so they were making belts, silver belts with buckles.
And what were you making, Judith?
I was making a big silver brooch.
So you lived out west for a while, and then you came in and you were living up at...
bit loud.
Yeah, and so, but you were showing in Brisbane, and you were showing in Sydney and Toowoomba, and then through the art on Cane Cross at Mullaney, which isn't there anymore, but they were good supporters. And so you've always been showing your work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I have been lucky getting that first exhibition.
Yes.
And she was very keen on helping artists.
Yeah.
That was good. I had a lot with the Hollisworth, and I had other places in Brisbane too that I'd show, and the South.
Yeah, yeah. So, what a fabulous career! It's you're still active now.
Well,
slowing down slightly.
One of those canvases out there.
Yeah, we would just walk past several
too many
big canvases.
And I did start one, I must admit.
Oh, that's great. Because you haven't gone on a trip this year, mostly because she's been working on the show. But but I think that it's amazing that you still make and still practice and still have this exuberance in your making, which is quite extraordinary.
It's probably one of the most, beside my children, one of the most marvellous things. I just am so happy.
That's what you want from life, I think.
I don't really care what people say, or I did try to do a series of parrots, because they're all over the place here, and they sold very well. I said, all right, I'll see if I can do some more. I can't.
Oh, you can't? It was only there.
I can't.
So one of the things I also noticed in your work, and quite your earlier work, we have quite a nice selection of drawings of nudes and paintings of nudes, and particularly the women in landscape, and then the way that the woman's form then becomes part of the landscape, and then the landscape takes over. So there's this nice continuity in the way you think and the way you see and the way you paint, which I really love. And I think, all of your work sings. Have you ever, do you consciously decide this yellow should go against this teal, or this yellow should go against this purple?
I just do it.
You just do it. And then
I may change.
You may overpaint.
That's good about acrylic.
You can overpaint quickly.
Yeah.
I'd love to do an X-ray of some of your paintings and see how many different layers that you've got underneath them.
And to find that some of the paints are luminescent, so that I can use them as a glaze. And that's another story, bringing out those lovely blue greens and reds and purples. Yeah. That changes their colour completely.
Yes,
so that's
definitely.
A lot of fun.
You did a lot, as you said, you work in series, and you did a lot of series for Moroccan, and how different each of those views were amazing, but brought in a bit of gold leaf for that lushness of that culture, I guess. And it's interesting because your overseas works are very different. The Greek one has that blue and that sort of hotter feel to it than the Moroccans, which are these lush sort of reds and purples and versus your Spanish ones, which are really a different red but full of energy and like the Spanish dancers, which are just beautiful, and your paellas and things like that. So you don't often paint plein air, like outside? Do you mostly paint in studio?
Yes.
Yes.
There's probably, when we lived up at Montreal,
Yep.
there are pictures of me on the boulders in the creek with a
paintbrush. Were they staged, or were they really? Did you used to go out and paint in nature? Because I think mostly I thought you brought it back to the studio, that experience.
Oh, yes. I couldn't possibly finish anything, and Rex told me, start something.
Right. Just to get that energy happening. Yeah.
So you can imagine being out in the desert. No, we just had the little card table.
Yeah.
They were actually nearly falling to bits. But we had to have water, of course, to wash the brushes.
Yeah.
And keep going that way.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about taking the lace cloth, we were lucky our friends were funny too, and they would, somewhere we were going to camp, Rex always found us great camping, right away from the road, no people.
Yeah.
And so from there, we look around and think, oh, I think it's a lace table night.
And you pull out the lace table cloth.
Yeah, the lace cloth. We did it quite a bit.
Yeah.
There's one picture of me standing on a sand dune with the lace cloth, shaking it, and the blokes would go round, find flowers, and we put flowers, and we had those little tea
lights. Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. So you have a family of 5? Yes. And so it was when the youngest went off to school that you decided to start?
So I didn't have a lot of time, but it was because I'd been out looking around, I suppose, still looking at, more or less educated myself, but looking through all the art books and things. I think that made a big difference too. So, yes, when Debbie went to school, I had that free day. I've been pretty busy.
Yes, with 5 children, definitely.
Yes. Anyway, that was good, got her off. And the first thing I thought when she started was, oh, I've got a day to myself. No more kids.
What to do? Make yourself busy. So what was the first, can you remember the first thing you painted or drew? Or
what did I do? No, I didn't really do landscapes as landscapes, I don't think, because I was still experimenting with the works.
Yeah.
Just mixing paints. There's my old palette.
Yes, you said, so that's still there.
I painted all that for such a long. Well, I still do.
Yeah, you do.
No, I think with Debbie away, I really thought I've got to do, but I tried to get into a pottery class, and it was, because I was interested.
Okay.
And but it wasn't. So, okay, there's space in the painting class. Right, I'll do it.
Nice. And that started your career.
Yes.
Again. It's extraordinary. So if you had one thought, so I love that you say that you're happy.
Oh,
your life has made you happy, and that's a really extraordinary thing to be able to say.
I just feel I'm so lucky that not only do I have a wonderful partner, but because just mixing colours is something that I just love doing.
Yeah, and you can tell it. Your colours sing on your canvases, and they talk to each other and then to you, and they build. Like the more you look at them, the more that possibly the way that you lay your paint on it, the more energy seems to flow from the colours.
I think it does, because I get another idea from there, and I think, oh, what will happen if I do this? Yeah. And it was all, it's probably still a bit of that sort of stuff too.
Happening. Mm-hmm. So is there one thing you would say to people about your life, or about making, about being an artist?
Well, I think I'm probably one of the luckiest persons in the world. I've got all this, and I've still got it ahead of me.
Yes.
We're not going overseas now, but we're very exciting. We're going down the Murray River.
Oh, lovely. Oh, okay. Well, get that sketchbook out and that diary, and we'll have a series next year. Well, Judith, it's been lovely chatting to you. As I said, I'm so jealous of your life. The more I speak to both you and Rex, it's like, oh, what have I done with my life? I've only had one child, not 5. And yet I've been really lucky to have the experience of chatting with artists such as yourself, being exposed to these extraordinary works, and the thing that, it's a real privilege for our curator to talk to an artist and then show their making over the years of their time. And so we're very lucky to have done that. And, we've got some extraordinary lenders who are lending some of your earlier works and your later works for the exhibition. And so it's been a joy, and thank you so much. And I'll see you in the gallery.
I